And there's another version that we are still actually in development to bring to schools. And we've done excerpts of them, like when we have our final presentations. And I don't think we have any filming of that.
We don't.
No, we have still pictures, but not a film.
Good.
A couple of questions. Have you presented, we have another group that I'm on, youth education and language, about education and reaching young people. So I'm wondering, have you presented to that other committee? Okay,
No.
I want to give your information because we work with programs in schools as well and talk about providing this kind of, well, I guess you could say educational entertainment that kids can contribute to. Number two, the Blackberry Productions. Now, do you accept submissions from outside Harlem for ideas for presentations, or it's all based on interviews?
I'm not sure I understand the question. What were you asking?
I think you were talking about doing interviews and then about certain issues and documentary drama. I'm wondering how to do that only in Harlem, or is it only that locally based?
No. So the program, the current iteration, which, as Stephanie mentioned, is not being funded by West Harlem. I'm actually at the Bronx Theater High School. So and so they're taking care of someone else is taking care of the funding for that. But that is what's cool about that, and what we have been interested really in one of our ways of continuing, is that I'm actually in a government class or two government classes, and the officers, like tomorrow, we'll sit in a circle and talk to these young people and engage. So we do a little bit of role playing and a little bit of history and stuff. So in terms of that, we'll do some documentation of their stories as well. There'll be some journaling. And in terms of the young people who participated in the past, some were either involved in programs in this area in Harlem or went to school, but they didn't all necessarily live there. And the officers came from all over, right? Because some of them they were community affairs officers and might have been sent from Brooklyn because that's, they were community affairs. We had some in the local precincts, but in terms of being able to commit to 10 weeks every week, and the officers were the most consistent. Like they rarely, I kept attendance and they rarely missed anything. And they really said they wanted to be. So they told their stories like just openly and honestly. And this last group that we just finished, some of the creativity from the officers and the young people and the partnership was amazing to see. Like it was really, really like, you see them, you see these officers walk in and you have this thing, and they were amazingly vulnerable. And I truly appreciated that. And as Stephanie said, I'm a retired police officer, almost 25 years, but I'm retired. So feel really happy about that. But yeah, every day I'm thankful. Like, so, but
you also mentioned specifically. Thank you, Chris, and I agree with, because I wasn't one of the facilitators, but I coming in, it is just so moving to see the interactions. And some of the interactions were difficult. And to see them resolve, there are moments I even got frightened, like, but it was wonderful to see how they resolved. But specifically about the theater piece, the one that there are two versions. And the professional one, we cannot touch this, just too much money involved. We're trying to get a commercial theater to pick it up. So I can't really speak much on that. The other version, both are based or inspired by stories, actual stories and interviews from the youth and the police. And of course, we take artistic license, so the author's imagination. Are we open to taking ideas from anyone? Yep.
That's what I was asking.
But not yet, Madison.
Yeah. Because there's a number, I mean, I also am a playwright, I write plays, I'm working on something with equity right now.
Are
And
you kidding? Call me up.
I will. I will, okay.
Okay, does anyone else have any questions? But you know I do. Okay, we the Senior Action Committee from the Community Board MCB9. I'd like to first, is it possible to get some of the seniors involved in some of their stories? Because I think with this is just a suppose, I mean, there's some of the, maybe one or two seniors either actively, one of their stories, lines could be, or their stories could be put in, and or can they volunteer? Because, seniors like to do something and keep themselves busy. That's the first question.
You know what? I hadn't thought of that. But Chris, we need to talk. That is a great idea.
It is.
I hadn't thought of that. That
Yeah.
is, I could see one of the senior stories even in the piece. The piece that we're planning to tour schools, we've only shown excerpts. It's not a finished product yet. And our goal is the fall, because as the playwright in the room knows, that takes a long time to develop. So we have a lot of stories. To have a senior citizen story would be great. To have senior citizen, I'm gonna put that in our proposal. Shoot, I love to steal. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm writing that down.
Okay, and my next statement, West Harlem Development Corp, WHDC, has been sponsoring trips and things, activities for seniors. When you produce one of your plays, especially if you can do it in Harlem, we would like to send a group of seniors to come watch. If just to keep us posted, John Martin presented. I'm also a part member of the Arts and Culture Committee. John Martin presented last night. But if you can just stay in touch with us every other month to let us know how you're moving along. And I'm sure we have some seniors that would love to contribute a story or two of their history, experiences, et cetera, et cetera. And you can also maybe, they can volunteer, they can maybe help out with the technical stuff. But we're trying to get seniors, keep them moving. So
That is an excellent idea. And who do we contact? You?
My name is Walter. I will put my name in the chat and my information, so you'll have my information as well. And then you need to also contact it. I'll give you everything. You send it to me.
Okay.
It's culture as well as youth. And she's involved with the youth because there's a youth committee also part of MCB9.
Yeah.
So we'll spread this around because that's some good stuff. And I'm looking forward because I'm sure the kids have a lot of things to say about their experiences. The cops, I'm sure, because the cops have always been given a bad rap. And we know that there might be one or two bad apples in the bunch, but the majority of them, they're there to make our lives better. So I just like to keep in touch. I'm gonna put my number and stuff in your chat. So when you get moving, and if I can get one of the seniors, now either here or online, to get committed to submit a story or something, that would really be helpful to put it so the seniors can identify.
That's a wonderful idea. And we just produced a piece, that it took 2 years to write, called A Walk in Yaya's Garden, that were all stories from senior citizens during the COVID. But they were not COVID stories necessarily. They were events in COVID inspired them to go back in their past. And it was very well received.
I hope you can do that again. That sounds interesting. I hope you can produce that again. We'd love to come see it.
Yeah, me too.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
This is a time when so many people need to express, children as well as the elderly. We're in a sense very siloed with all our devices, and I think people need this kind of open expression. It's really desperately needed to be with each other together and to discuss. So very important, the arts.
We should have lunch. If you're a playwright, we should have lunch sometime.
Okay, sure,
Oh, yes.
indeed.
Anyone else, any other comments, questions? Thank you for being here. Thank you for the information. Please stay
Thank
in
you.
touch.
Thank you for the wonderful ideas. Thank you.
You're welcome. I have art background too. Not as much as you like a lot of folks, but I have a little art background too. Thank you for being here. I want to, Judy, I want to give us,
Okay.
give me one moment. The Vernon Arthur from the senior Department of, what is it now? They changed it. It used to be Department of Aging. Aging, it's just aging now, right? Verna? Verna, are you online? She said she wanted to speak. Okay, well, go ahead, Judy.
Okay. Mr. President.
NYC aging, that's what it's called.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Hello, Walter, were you calling me?
Oh, yes, I did, yes.
I'm sorry, I seem to be, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, because I'm having problems with this system here, I don't know what's happening. I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you say.
No, you sent me a chat that you wanted to make an announcement. Go right ahead.
Oh, you sure you want to hear this one now? Okay, I'll do it as you continue. No, I just want to say, I think I should put my camera on. I'm so sorry about this. Okay, you can see my face. Yeah, I just wanted to say that come December, January 31st, it would be my last day working with NYC Agent. After 22 years of service, I'm retiring. So I just want to take this opportunity to thank Community Board 9 and Community Board, in particular, Community Board 9 Senior Issue Committee for affording me the opportunity to provide the services that NYC Agent offers to our older adults. It has been my pleasure advocating and presenting information and suggestions to CB9 Senior Issue Committee, and wish you all the best moving forward. I just want to say among the fields that I have worked in over the years, working with older adults has been my greatest satisfaction. And again, it's been an honor working with everyone. And for information, if you need information and services as it relates to our older adults, obvious, you can call Charlie Anderson at 212-602-4117.
Okay, you put that in the chat because you said it kind of fast. And you're right, I didn't want to hear that. I just want to thank you on behalf of the Senior Action Committee for all the input that you've given us throughout the years, for all the information, for showing up on a regular basis, for assisting our seniors from going from point A to point B and sometimes to point C if necessary. And I hope we can have a liaison that can start with us. And please step in from time to time just to say hi and let us know how you're enjoying your retirement. If there's anything that you think that the seniors could be that would be of interest to the seniors in the committee, I'd love to hear it. You can email it or you can send it to voicemail or whatever. But thank you for everything.
You're welcome. You're welcome, and I'll do my best because after I get everything all straightened out here, I'll be moving back to the Caribbean to live. So just let you know. I'll do my best. All right, but I'll send you Charlie's contact information.
All right, thank you, and enjoy your vacation because I'm enjoying mine.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. You ready?
Yes.
Yeah. I know.
Everybody. There's a delay. Oh, there. I am here to speak on the nutritional benefit programs at farmers markets. My name is, I'm sorry, this is nutrition benefit programs at farmers market. We're talking about understanding SNAP, Health Bucks, FMNP, Fresh Connect, and OTC. So talking about, my name is Judy Desiree.
I am the founder and I guess, executive director of Uptown and Boogie Healthy Project. It was founded in 2022, but the vision started actually in 2017 as a bike advocate. And then I moved into food and nutrition because I realized that was usually the biggest part for people when transitioning into fitness, is that where do you eat? Well, when you want to be fit, you need to also eat healthy. And I saw the need to bring farmers markets and fresh produce into the community. And in 21, I started officially Uptown and Boogie Healthy Project. And in Harlem, it's called Uptown Good Food. And in the Bronx, it's called Bronx Park East Farmers Market. And that's my website if you want to see more about my nonprofit. And as I mentioned, I have a farm stand on Thursdays, which is in front of a community garden, a green thumb garden called St. Nicholas Miracle Garden. It's Thursdays evenings, so to get those who are interested in produce after work. And we have a farm stand that provides fresh produce, herbs, hot sauce, honey, like all flowers, like we have everything there. I'm there and I answer questions. And that's from June to October on Thursdays. And I'm in front of St. Nicholas Park. I have a farmer's market in front of St. Nicholas Park at the down of the hill, I guess you could say, in between St. Nicholas Avenue and 137 and 138th Street. I started the farmer's market last year, so it was the first year. It's Saturdays from 9 to 3 p.m. And we're seasonal, and we're June to November. And we have about 3 farmers and various herbalists and fitness education. I sell eggs. It's like it's a good time. And our first farmers market, a farm program, was in the Bronx, in front of Bronx Park, and that's not too far from the Bronx Zoo. And we're Sundays. And that initiative to have weekend markets was to get more families involved in bringing their kids to the farmers market. And so we try to target parks and just places where kids can play. And we're in front of what is Brady's Playground from June to November on Sundays. So you can find us there. And our farmers market program accepts all nutritional benefits. We accept SNAP. I officially process SNAP in all the locations, the farm stand and the farmers market. I accept health bucks. I also distribute health bucks. I'll talk about how I distribute a little later. I accept FMNP, which is the Farmers Market Nutritional Benefit. Farmers Market Nutritional Benefit Program, the WIC and senior version. So there's 2, so we accept both. That's the $5 vouchers. There's also Fresh Connect checks, and that is for the veterans. And we accept that. That is all sitting on the New York State umbrella. And OTC, the largest OTC we have at Farmers Market is Health First. So Health First is what we see the most, OTC plus. We're trying to find more OTC members to make sure that we accept all programs. Because the platform that we use doesn't necessarily mean that we've been given permission to take from it. To know if you have it is if you have groceries. If you can buy groceries with the OTC, you can now use it at the farmer's market.
Do you have,
Oh, go ahead. Cool, that's all right.
do you have where there's a certain, medical, branches or providing service with you, like Sigma?
No, so as a farmer's market, we have a application called Total Pay. And Total Pay is a third-party application that speaks to all the insurance companies. But there's many times since the pandemic, more OTC is provided, but a lot of seniors don't know they can activate it or upgrade their insurance to have it. Because it was initially for buying prescriptions, like, just your co-pays, or it was used for that type of allowance if you needed Tylenol. Now it's been expanded for groceries. And some people say it's kind of a SNAP for
Who invested in this country hundreds of years, and those that are here are y'all reaping small rewards that you should be able to go in and spend $150, $200 on groceries
Yes.
with an OTC that has Visa debit on it.
Yes. Oh, yes. And
That's for us.
Mhm. Yes, and it's new, unfortunately, 2021 is where you could actually use it for produce. And it wasn't really introduced or wasn't told to many people to activate, so when I was caring for my mom, I didn't even know this existed until after. Yes, yes,
And you're right.
yes,
So when can you apply for this?
when?
Yes.
Oh, with your insurance companies.
With your insurance company.
Yeah, with your own insurance companies, many of them do provide OTC, but at different levels. So like, for example, Health First, I think has 9 levels or so. They have like different versions. I also have seen United Medical, and I think yes. Someone had mentioned VNC. Yeah, they also have it. Yeah, you just call and either upgrade your plan or activate it. Because unfortunately, if you have it, they don't necessarily send you the card. It's not something that,
Then you got to store it, and you'll get it.
yeah.
That's what I found out.
You thank you for coming, because someone presented a couple of months ago, someone said something about food boxes. And this lady here to my left, just like everything went off, because it's like, oh, how we fly, how we do, how we get,
Yeah.
and she's very, connected with Carbon Avenue and a lot of the teams coming up after, a lot of teams that go there. So, I know you got some questions, so I'm gonna let you go.
No, but the young lady is still presenting.
It's still presenting. So I just want to also make sure that people know SNAP is food stamps. Like a lot of people are like, oh, do you accept food stamps? The name changed. So in 2008, it changed to actually SNAP. So food stamps turned to SNAP. New York State embraced the name in 2012. So it's new, but not new. But moving forward at farmers markets, people will say, do you have SNAP? If you ask other younger generation, they will not know food stamps. So just keep that in mind if you're asking that. I did put a link, I will share in the chat, so just getting more information on how to apply for food stamps or how to track your, because recently there was a lot of scamming that happened.
Yes.
With SNAP, a lot of people got their funds stolen.
Yes.
Yeah, there was it was, yeah, there was I think $5 million was like stolen.
Wow.
Yeah, I had people came to my market, we swiped and they lost about $700 and some people $500. They didn't know until they came to my market. So it's very important that you track and don't wait, because then you kind of like backtracking to where you may have gotten the money stolen. So sometimes it's a swipe at a store, but you don't realize that the swipe you're using is tracking information. There was a hack attack that actually took people's social number. Yeah, it was, yeah.
Plus, see the text. You gotta watch your text, your messages.
Yeah.
That they say that such and such is contact. Things of that nature, but you can reply or just click it just to see. And they can take your information due to the fact that you have anything of your SNAP, EBT, or your OTC information on your phone, they can take that along with it.
Yeah. So, and it happens usually around the farmer's market season, because you're out, you're shopping, you're swiping, you don't really know, and you're supposed to be given a receipt or shown your balance, and some people are like, oh, I'm fine, and don't realize, because sometimes they'll steal and leave like, $10, $20, and you swipe something for $5, so you think you still have money. So just always keep on top of your balance, especially, okay. But, so that's one. If you are using SNAP at a farmer's market, you receive health bucks. It hasn't changed yet, but every $2 you spend at a farmer's market, you get $2 in health bucks. an item that you're purchasing is $4, you get an additional $4 in these $2 coupons.
Okay.
And the maximum you get is $10 per day. So if you shop $90 or you shop $10, the maximum health bucks I can give you per card is 10. So just always be mindful when you go and you use your, and this is only in farmers markets that participate. If you are an organization, and there's some organizations here, and you want to bring a trip to a farmer's market, you can reach out to the health department, put the email addresses, and they'll give you a booklet of health bucks to distribute. If you're having an event, like a health and wellness event, some city council people have purchased health bucks to give, you can use that at farmers markets. And you can spend as much as you want. I've had people receive 100 in a stack and just started shopping everywhere. So it's always good to either find who's participating or reach out for your organization to participate. You can have a trip, you can have a walking trip, a running trip, whatever, to a farmer's market, and they'll give your organization some health bucks. They usually say if you are an organization, you are to give at least $6 to $8 worth of health bucks, and that a person can purchase 2 or 3 items at a market. And I'll put in the chat, but the emails are on the slide if you want to reach out to learn more or find what farmers markets are accepting health bucks. Any questions about health bucks so far?
Yes.
Okay.
We noticed that our senior citizens, centers,
Mhm.
that they receive, quarterly or annually a check
Oh,
that has nothing to do with, your matching funds. It is actually like a stipend or something that's
That's right.
given. Is that review, or being that we also have, aging department who we hate to see leave, Berner, if you're still there, we'd like to know if community good minded, we as a senior citizen group can get those same checks to distribute to our seniors. Is it?
yes.
Yes.
So they can confirm, but I believe it's a center, because you have to show there's a hub of people coming to one location to get it. They may tell you to partner with a center and then bring people to the center. I think that's I forgot to mention that the health bucks is an annual. The last day to use your health buck is December 31st.
Okay.
That's active now, the elbow is
Yes.
active now?
Yeah, so I'm a seasonal market, so I don't have health bucks. But if you're a year-round market, you'll get new ones that will say 2024, and you can use that all the way to the last day of the year. So this is one of the programs that's year-round. You have up to, some markets are forgiving, they'll let you come in the first week of January. But we have to submit all of last year's the second week of January. So right now, we are required to give on January 15th. So that's why they give a little leeway.
Thank you.
And so the question you were asking is called FMNP. These are the vouchers where if you are a parent who has WIC, the WIC card that you receive from the state, you go to a WIC office, they will withdraw funds from the card and in exchange give you these $5 vouchers. So if you know anyone who's on WIC, you have up to the age of 5 years old to then use these benefits. You get a booklet about $20 worth to go to a farmer's market. For seniors, it's called SFNP. It's the same, it'll actually have the marker that says senior on it, so that you know what you're using or what you're getting. Just make sure it says senior on it. Check, but just make sure you just see that logo on the voucher. And that's $5. You also get a booklet about 20. But there's a timing to it. You have to partner with an organization at least by June. So if you are part of a senior center or you want to partner with a senior center, you have up to June. June, they send out, requests for if you want to distribute the vouchers, how much you get, you know, whatever you need to do. Then the senior receives it in July. So they start collecting the information June, I'll start seeing in my market July, people show up with the vouchers. Now, the center has only up to September to give you those vouchers. So you have a window about like June to September. After September, they're no longer allowed to give you any vouchers. So if they have any left, they have to return that back. So you wanna make sure, you partner with a center, if you have anything left, and then hold on, and just, you know, distribute, and many centers will just hand out. But it's a responsibility of the person receiving it to use it. Because there is codes on that voucher that determines if that senior center or the organization gets more or less next year.
Yeah, that's the way to stay.
Yes, so if you receive it and you don't spend it, you're actually hurting the organization, because it brings that percentage down. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we found that a lot of the vouchers are sitting in drawers, you know, just make sure, because it's important, because a lot of centers lost because no one was using it. So you want to make sure that happens. Now, that voucher, you yourself have up to the end of November to use it. Once you get the voucher, you have up to November 30. After that, we can't accept it at the market. It's because we have to give all those vouchers back by December. So the farmer, you give it to the farmer directly. You don't give it to me at the farmer's market manager, you give it to the farmer. The farmer has up to, like last year was December 15th to mail it out.
What about like establishing like one of these remarks like this name of a,
Is you,
we used to have one,
oh,
37, but it's not there anymore before after COVID.
well, 137
Oh, yeah, I remember when I was working in school.
on Broadway?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Right from the
It
park.
was small.
It was smaller,
It was small,
come every Wednesday.
yeah.
That's good to know, because I was looking to bring up.
Yeah, we used to have one there.
Yeah, because I'm in low hill, so I was trying to figure out how to, you know, part above, so I would love to learn more about.
Right in front of the McDonald's.
Yes, exactly.
No longer McDonald's.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's Chipotle.
it's Chipotle, yeah.
Chipotle.
It's a company, isn't it?
But they used to come every
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Same company.
Yeah. Does that answer questions about FMN?
I'm gonna,
I have
but
a,
ask you, okay,
Someone online has, okay,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I had a question. I just want to know, do you ever do workshops with groups on nutrition and health?
Yes, this is one of them, this is one of the first Yes, I do.
Okay. So how does one reach you? Like I have a small group of women and we were just talking about and trying to invite a guest in who could have a discussion with us about nutrition.
Yeah, I'm not a licensed nutritionist, but I can
No.
answer a lot of the questions of the programs we've done at the farmer's market. So we have food
Okay.
demos, we have cooking recipes. We offer what is called community supported agriculture, or some people say farm share, where during
Okay.
the season you get a box of produce, and that comes with cooking demos and information, and encourages you to cook the food. We have recipes called no cooking recipes, that
Oh, I
you're not
love that.
to, you know, boil or cook this.
Do I find that on your website?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm updating, it's still working. My website will have it, but it was such a large demand of the Bronx to get the recipe, so actually everything is on the Bronx website, but I'm transferring a lot of information onto the nonprofit site.
Okay.
Yes.
Does anyone else have any comments or questions? Let's go.
Where would people pick up if they join the CSA?
Actually, all those locations.
Oh, great.
When the season starts in June, I'll send out an email, like February, which is called the CSA week. And that's where everybody who has CSA starts like spamming you like that week. And you start enrolling and we have different plans. We also accept SNAP for the CSA. You pay when the first day starts instead of ahead, like other numbers. Because with SNAP, you could also use your SNAP online. I don't know if I mentioned that. You can use your SNAP online. And I always tell people, take a photo of your card. It's very important. A lot of people misplace the card and then now they're searching for a record. Because you can use your SNAP online. So if somehow your card gets misplaced or something, at least you have a photo of your card. I suggest taking a photo of it. Just make sure you have that on your phone. Or even if you have to print it out and put it on the side, on the refrigerator. Just always get that copy. We have a lot of people who are either lost or misplaced. And it was a long journey to get a new card. Yeah, so just keep that in mind. But there are programs where you can do SNAP online. So they're piloting that program where you can pay for your CSA using SNAP online.
Anybody else have any questions or comments?
I do. Yeah. For us to connect our teams with now the city council, we can get some, see if we can get some
Yes.
what do you call it?
Health bucks.
Health
Yes.
bucks and OTCs and all that. And maybe we just do a field trip.
Yeah, you can, there's a ton of events.
Field trip, yeah, you know, I used to do it walking thing 2015 to 2017. I used to take all the seniors down to Columbia University on 14th Street to the Farmers Park.
Yeah, the one there.
And 97th Street, just take them all over the place.
Yeah, just use it. I know you lose it.
I mean, you're here, we connected,
Yeah,
so why not just
yeah.
do a field trip where we can get the seniors, you know, we need them to come out on good weather and everything, and we just do resume field trips, it'd be a resume. Most of them are, be like, hey, we did this before with Carlton.
And the season picks up June, July, where you start getting more produce.
That's another time to talk to city council
Yeah.
and the borough president.
We'll put you in charge of that. And with Martha Bean. We're gonna backtrack. Since we have quorum now, I have to take a motion to accept the agenda. No, he made quorum, but you added to it. No, I just need 4 people because we had 7. So, but we have quorum now, so I just need a motion to accept the minutes. A motion to accept the minutes.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes.
I second that one.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, and then a motion now to accept the amended agenda. I need another motion.
I make a motion, we accept the amended agenda.
I second that one.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Let's move on. Now, before I forget, your last name again?
This one last.
Just listen, let me sneak this in and then let you go.
Judy.
Okay, I was gonna last name.
Is that's right.
Each May, we started this last year, May, we do a senior resource. We did it here last year, it was excellently receptive. The groups came, so I would love for you to come back, we're gonna probably do it this year in the forum on 125th Street, because we need a bigger space. So I would love for you to come and present again, as well as Blackberry Productions, as well as Lily, okay, because they did a good thing with movement and stuff, so we're gonna just, I put that on the agenda, we're gonna start the process of getting that going, so.
Okay.
I love to do this is excellent information, the seniors would love to hear it, and they can be involved in it. And we're gonna get our active 3 senior centers to come down and join us as well, so. Floor is yours.
Okay. Good, I love it. I always want to make sure everybody gets this information because it's usually at the end of the season, everyone goes, what? And I'm like, yeah, it's over. But another added to the market is the Fresh Connect. So this is for the veterans, families, intermediate, I think even unmarried spouses can benefit from this program. Last year, they received about $50. It's for the whole year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
More than you have.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a joke.
Yeah. So it's $50. That was actually $20 before.
Wow.
Yeah. So use it, qualify for it. The information, really just reaching out to your veterans hospitals or connections, the Department of Veterans. There's like phone number and information if you want to learn more about getting those vouchers. The good thing about this voucher is that it ends in the end of December. So although it starts in July, you can use it up to the end of December. And you can use it, you can use it towards any SNAP eligible items. FMNP is only for fruits and vegetables. I forgot to say that. So Health Bucks, FMNP is fruits and vegetables, some herbs, you know, but you can't get anything beside that. Of course, SNAP, you can get eggs, meat, dairy, things like that. So is the Fresh Connect. So you can use it to buy eggs. It kind of works so coincide with SNAP, so it has the same eligibility and acceptance of products you can, you know, purchase with it.
For my vegetarian / vegan,
Yeah.
do you have organic vegetables and stuff there?
All farmers are organic practicing.
Okay, okay.
So it's
That's
all
good to know.
upstate New York. We have family-owned farms that have been around, we have one which is called House of Greens, they're mother and daughter. They're 3 years into farming, but they had farmed previously in the past. There's Grandpa Farms, that's like generations of farmers. So yeah, we make sure.
You have increase in seeded watermelon, or you start to produce that?
The watermelons were tough this year in New York. Or it was either not enough shade, I mean, there was too much shade, there was not enough sun. So it needs a lot of sun to make it sweet. And there was a lot of water, so there was a lot of root rot, like, if you send to the agriculture,
So what happens is, if the melons are not ripened at a certain point, the H3O water content that you can increase in your system will fail.
yes,
So you be just H2O,
yeah.
maybe alkaline, depending on what kind of water you drink. But watermelon adds an H3O alkaline to your system, which can put your memory bank and everything else into perspective, especially if it's seeded.
It was, even, bringing watermelon up from down, that wasn't a lot either. It wasn't, like, so, yeah. This year, looking at 2021 and 23, the differences in the stall, even when I'm selling food, it was hard to get a lot of produce. It was very difficult, either weather change, so, yeah, support the farmers. That and the one little thing we have for the little kiddos, so if you know any kids between the age of 4 to 13, we have their own little health book program. And so it's called Pop Kids Power of Produce, and it allows the kids to get $2. They visit the market, they get $2 to spend. We create a kids zone. We have like little kids activities throughout the season. And a lot of parents have said this made it a lot more easy to bring their kids to the market. There was a space for them to run around, and play, and have a good time. So yeah, they had chances to draw. It was really fun. I like, so you know, that could also add to your benefits. You get $2 for kids to come in, and they get a prize if they come 3 times or 6 times in the season. So yeah, that's one of our extra ones for our market. And if there's any more questions.
I'm just gonna ask you, this may not be totally relevant right now, but in terms of organic, is there any testing of these products that they are truly organic? I was just reading some expose that some of the organic stuff in the supermarkets have more pesticides.
Yeah, so 2 things usually happen. There are inspectors that do like surprise visit, come and check and stuff. A lot of the small farmers, you don't know who's spraying or doing what in the other farm. So although you're practicing, you're doing, and then someone else is spraying over, wind spray. So you, unless you're sitting on 200 acres and you know no one's around you, it's very, tough to like, if you have a fruit farmer nearby you, it blows in. You can control it, semi-control it, but, just by checking your soil and just checking what the other neighbors are doing. But that usually, yeah,
And
happens.
if it's a 200-acre farm, it's probably industrial, so.
Yeah.
They definitely say.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's, the bugs are, you know, we had spotted lanterns that didn't really help the system.
Right.
Starting getting new, pests that are coming in
I haven't
and
seen them lately, because it's too cold.
it's a
cold.
cold, yeah,
You
hibernate.
think they'll come back?
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Back up.
I'm feeding them.
Okay, we're gonna move on. Lily, you wanted to say anything?
Oh, sure, I'd love to. Thank you. That was very interesting. And I explained all the watermelon I ate last summer.
Yeah.
No. All right, well, thank you for that explanation. So my name is Paula Seafeld. Some of you probably knew Irene Zola. She was the founder of Lily, our executive director, who died very suddenly,
Yes.
sadly, unexpectedly. And so I was the program director for years. I'm a social worker by background. And I have stepped into some big shoes. I'm the executive director now for Lily, and I wanted to come and say hello and just tell you a little bit about what we're doing. I know some of you are familiar with us, but we've been around since 2009. And we provide free services to seniors who are aging in place. We find most people want to stay in their home, and we try to help them do that, as long as it's safe and healthy to do so. And to your point, sir, about Irene really strongly believed that as the older generation, this is something kind of respect and comfort that you deserve, and that it should be available to you in your community. So we've never charged for our services. We rely on a really large core of volunteers. We have teenagers, we have kids from the local colleges, we have young retirees, we have some families that will volunteer in all different capacities. Some people may do grocery and meal deliveries with their children. Other people might take a senior every week to cancer treatments. Sometimes it's more befriending somebody who might be lonely and isolated. And Irene was really a visionary, because there is now real solid research coming out showing that loneliness is a big health factor, as diabetic, as smoking. It has that kind of systemic influence on our health. We also do try to work around nutrition. We've published a monthly newsletter. We have a doctor who writes a column. We have health and wellness tips constantly, because we know that's important. We try to get people outside. I wish I had a picture of my walking group from yesterday. My oldest walker will be 98 next month, but she's, isn't it beautiful out today? And I snapped a picture, like, if you can go outside on a January day, then the 75-year-olds can get out here. It's really nice in the sun. We do a lot of free group activities, again, going back to the socialization and kind of that mental stimulation that somebody mentioned.
Yes.
So, I asked about filming, because we have a great film discussion group. We have a book group, we have a French group, we have an opera group, we have a party group, we have all kinds of groups going on. We have this sort of coffee club. We just get together and talk about everything, like from abundance to politics, doesn't matter, whatever the topic is, we talk about. And then we do a lot of informational sessions. We do free legal seminars. We're hosting visions to come in this month to talk about services available free for people with vision issues. And then we do fun things. So I love to tap into the talents of the older adults.
Yeah.
And just because you have retired doesn't mean you don't still have a strong skill set and an ability to offer that to people. So we just did one last month. One of our elders, documentary filmmaker. He had made a documentary. I had never heard of this, 4 scenes and 3 acts. It was the first all-Black cast opera. It was performed here in Harlem in the 1930s. Gertrude Stein wrote the lyrics, and Virgil Thompson wrote the music.
Oh, wow.
I know, no one has ever heard of this, so we had a great turnout, and unfortunately, nobody ever filmed the production. All you have are little, somebody was illegally, got some pictures, in the audience, but it was a great presentation and generated great discussion. Then we also do more serious things. I've had 2 big family meetings this week with families who, may live all around the world. Their elder relative is starting to not do so well, and the family needs to come up with a more systemic approach. And we help connect them to services, whether it's they need to apply for Medicaid, whether they need to, bump out home care, whatever that might be. We'll connect them to, Screen, to SNAP, to services that they may qualify for, and not realize that they're ready for. I also run a family caregiver support group because another interesting health statistic is that a very large number of caregivers sometimes sick and die before the person they're caring for. And I know you said you took care of your mother.
Yeah.
I am sure it was not easy. It is really hard, and we don't have any societal support built. We don't have it for young parents with young kids, let alone, I have people in my support group who are 70, but they're taking care of their mom who's 95.
Sure.
So, I don't know, this is a little tiring, this is a little hard, so that's something that we also offer.
That can cost fractions of the family because, my sister and I had to do this with my mother. She passed away a few years ago. So yeah, that's very, very.
It's very stressful, it's stressful for the whole family,
Yeah.
so. Yeah, do you have a question?
Do you believe and I do mean we, all in theory, that the pandemic ignited the truth about what's really going on
Yeah.
with seniors and
I do, I think it sort of lifted a curtain and every single one of us, at least in New York, we had a serious stay-home order. And I know, I'm like, oh, this is what it's like when you can't get out and go places.
Wow.
You know what? Everybody hated it. It felt like people were pretty unhappy that they couldn't, and, and so I do think it raised awareness. I absolutely do. The other thing that with the pandemic did for us as an agency was it really brought home to me the importance of technology. I have 12 iPads sitting in my apartment. We keep getting these grants and getting more technology to people, and I have 10 Amazon Echoes coming my way for our visually impaired folks. And I'm waiting for those young college kids to come back in 2 weeks, because I can't train people on how to set up the Echo, but I have college kids that can. We're really working to connect them with the technology. Like isn't this great that we can have this hybrid meeting? Maybe some people couldn't have come today because of the weather, or they have another meeting at 12, but they still want to pop on and see what's happening. This is how we operate now.
Yes.
The oldest people I have on Zoom are in their late 90s. So I always
wow.
I tell my younger people, look, she's doing it. She comes every Thursday and she's 98. So you can do this. So that's another thing that we're trying to do. Another great grant we got, free house cleaning. Again, it's very hard to get down on your knees and scrub the floor. So we've been trying to do things that help make the home safer, healthier, happier. I also have a couple of hearing enhanced phones in my apartment, those who really want a landline. But it's very hard for them to talk on the phone, another, way to get isolated.
Yeah.
So those are the sort of things we're doing, but we could not do without our volunteers. They are amazing. They, as I said, they're all ages. They come to this from all different, we have a lot of international kids, students that come here, and a lot of them come from cultures where maybe the grandparents lived with them. They were very close to a grandparent. And they tell me I kind of miss being around older people because where I grew up, it was more intergenerational, and now everybody is my age here at school. Yes.
Where are you located? And the housekeeping, grant, and something where, say, a person who needs a home, health assistance or someone to come and clean can add to what they may only get twice or 3 times a month.
Well, we were able to do it twice last year. Literally, you would have had 2 times that we would have come and gotten your apartment clean. So it's not something that I would love it if we could do this every month, but it was really, really well received. So we've been doing it now for a few years. We got to bump it up a little bit this year, but we'll see how that goes. But I thought it was an important thing. And it was great. People loved it because you're right. Your home health aide might do your laundry. She'll wipe down the counter, maybe run the room a little bit, but she doesn't have time to do that kind of cleaning.
And people on fixed incomes, even on Social Security, they might get minimal assistance.
Yes,
And they might need a little bit more assistance than they're receiving.
yes.
So we're looking for additional means by which they can receive services that they need.
So we try to connect them to programs we might know about, like there's one called ISEP for people that aren't Medicaid eligible, but they need a little help. And they can get low-cost home care up to 12 hours a week if they qualify. So there are, we also try to connect them to things that maybe we can't offer as an agency. But let's talk to the other people. Yes.
Yeah, you think, with the home cleaning, that your rent might not be that big, but you think if y'all was able to put some kind of documentary together and stream it, you think that you would be able to qualify for a larger grant?
I never
They
thought of that.
see what y'all doing.
I never thought of that. There would be a lot of issues, I guess, questions about building and people their homes and all that, yeah.
Regular waiver.
Yep, I never thought of it. Very interesting. Yeah, but you're right, because sometimes a visual story is more impactful.
Right. Where are you funded and who funds you?
It's grants and we have a gala every year. And then donors, people that, really love our mission and support us.
It's funny because I lived around where Irene lived for many years, and I never knew anything about this, that she was heading. I mean, I live in Morningside, 110th Street. But I'm just wondering, where do you advertise this, or how do people
Well,
find
we
out?
got people all kinds of ways. But first, there's a huge sign at the post office, which gets us a lot. And but a lot of times it's word of mouth, it's neighbors, it's the geriatric center at the hospital. We work really closely with them and other departments at the hospital that know about us. It could be a priest who calls up, I've got a lady in my congregation, we're kind of worried about her. She lives on her own, that type of thing. So it's sort of formal and informal, the way people find us. And some people just, they like movies, they love to talk film, they come to that film group for 5 years, that's all they need, that's their thing. But then one day, maybe they have an injury, or maybe they need knee surgery, or then they might want more support.
And it's cheaper to keep them in the home.
Yeah.
Than, because eventually we had to send my mother to a nursing
Yeah,
home.
it's very
Which I think
expensive.
killed her.
It's
quite
very
frankly.
expensive, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll talk to you one day about it. It's
So, and there-
supposedly a good one too, on 112th Street,
Oh,
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam House.
Terrible neglectful. But it has a good reputation. We thought we were doing the right thing.
Right. Had to move on about it.
Excuse me?
Had to move on about it. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes. Well, oh, wow.
We're on.
Right across from St. Louis.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right, that's right.
They're not the same.
No.
The quality of it. I think they've changed ownership too in recent years.
So we're going back 5 years. I mean, what they did was just total neglect.
Yeah, they changed egregiously. I mean, that place was like top line.
That's what that we.
It was, over the past, about less than 10 years, it was in that realm. It just went from it being that, it's like the next day, everything ceased.
Well, we have a lot of guilt, my sister and I, about having center there.
Well,
People in the
because,
apartment.
don't feel too guilty. Because they were of a good nature and it changed and it happened and it happens a lot throughout the whole communities now. There's restaurants you go in, it's like you don't know what they feed you. So it's all, it's like, I don't,
Okay, any more questions or comments? Okay, Mr. Bruno, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, thank you. I'll be very brief. So I represent Morningside Retirement and Health Services, which is a NORC program. I don't know if you're familiar with NORC's, Naturally Occurring Retirement Community. So Morningside Gardens has been officially designated as a NORC by the state and the city, meaning that we have a concentration of older adults living in the housing complex. We have more than 600 people over the age of 60 living at Morningside Gardens. So MRHS, as we're known, has been serving this population of actually for 58 years. We were founded in 1966 and became an official NORC program in the mid 1990s. So, and we have nursing services, we have social workers on staff. We have many people in our community with 24-hour care in place. We can make that happen. We can monitor that situation with our nurse making home visits, our social workers, also working with families and medical professionals to make sure the person is living safely and comfortably at home. And of course, people 60 and over, we have a wide range of individuals. People are still working, to people who are over 100 years old, who are living perhaps at home with 24-hour care in place. I did want to mention that we do have a program coming up just briefly. It's called the Repair Cafe. Can I share my screen? Can I do
Yeah,
that?
I'm not sure, I hope we can, I think, because my technology is good with that. Cause I'm listed as a guest.
I think so. I think everyone was granted, actually.
Okay,
Check and see if.
check and see if you can.
Okay, let's see. No, it says it's disabled. That's okay. I can just tell you. So we have something called the Repair Cafe on Saturday from 12 to 5. So the Repair Cafe is actually an international concept. And we've done it here at Morningside Gardens prior to the pandemic, and we're bringing it back this Saturday. And the idea of a Repair Cafe, and this is open to the entire wider community, not just people living at Morningside Gardens, is you can bring in items for repair. And I'll just mention the kinds of items like ceramic repairs, jewelry repairs, carpentry repairs, lamp rewiring. I know last time a lot of people brought in old lamps that weren't working, so you can bring it in. We have volunteers who will be available, fix the lamp, and you can take it home. Sewing, knitting, and mending, we can have done for you. For volunteers will be available. Smartphone, computer, laptop, and tablet support, if anybody's having problems with that. And this is open to people of all ages. Upholstery, houseplant advice, and more. Basically, any kind of little job that someone needs help with, and they want to, and it's all free. If they want to just bring it in, that's all day Saturday from 12 to 5. That's at 100 LaSalle Street. So, and it's in the basement area. So if you come to 100 LaSalle, which is at the corner of Broadway and LaSalle, it's a high-rise building, 21 stories, part of Morningside Gardens. But if you go to building 1, there'll be signage for you to go downstairs and bring whatever you would like. There's also going to be a regifting table. So all those holiday gifts that you don't really want, you can secretly bring them here, and you can also pick up items. So the regifting will be an opportunity to drop things off or pick things up again at no cost. And there'll be there'll be free refreshments, and it'll be a really nice community event. It's not just about the items and the repairs, it's also a chance for the community to come together. So yeah, that's it. Are there any questions about that?
See, I want you to do a full presentation. Could you come back next month and we'll be able to put you, share your screen, because you have some great, today is just such a wealth of information. I love it. I really do. I need your contact information. If you put it in the chat, I can get it, because I would love to invite you for also. I'm sorry that the repair clinic is this week. Hopefully, maybe you think I would be able to do that again sometime this year?
Yeah, the plan is for us to do it on a regular basis. So
Because I mean, I would love to I would like to put that information in our minutes for that, but also I want you to come speak at our May resource fair, which will be at the forum on 25th Street. But I do need your contact, your business, and your phone numbers, please.
Okay, I did put it into chat.
All right, another question, got a question.
Are you the repaircafe.org?
No, we're at mrhsny.org. The Repair Cafe is just one activity of literally hundreds of activities that we do. And I was just highlighting it because it's happening this Saturday, and it's something that's open to the wider community. Our catchment area is Morningside Gardens. So many of our nursing services and our social work services are reserved for people living in the Newark. But this Repair Cafe, I was just highlighting because it's for everybody in the wider community.
What is that address that we care about?
I'm sorry? I'm sorry, was there a question? I couldn't quite hear that.
You know, for the address.
Address.
Oh, the address. 100 LaSalle Street.
Phone number? Oh, he was able to share.
I'm doing it. Yeah, as I realized that.
Oh, we just figured it out.
It was giving me that permission.
Yeah, I was listed as a host.
So,
Right, so it's at 100 LaSalle Street. The number is 212-666-4000. And actually, if you ask for Robin, if you have questions. There's the number up top.
this one.
Yeah, I see it. We said, thank you.
Is this the, is this number, is that correct?
Yes.
Oh.
Make it small so I can see an email address.
Oh, yes,
I'll put the address into chat also.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Everybody knows the Rosales, it's one
NY.
block south from 25th.
I'm sorry, what's that?
No, where, everybody knows where Rosales, right?
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. I want to, what's that? Is there like a waiting list for that residents there? Can someone put their name on the waiting list? Gail has a question.
Was the question, is there a waiting list?
Gail has a question. There you
Okay.
go.
Yeah, my question is, you said you can drop off unwanted gifts. Where and how long can you drop them off for?
So it's going to be open from 12 to 5 on Saturday.
Only on,
Yeah, this isn't like this is just a special event that we're doing this Saturday.
Okay.
It will be coming back. We're going to be holding it again, but on Saturday it's from 12 to 5. And you can come right to 100 LaSalle, down to the basement, and that's where the event will be taking place.
okay.
Somebody saying.
Someone said something. Maybe it's just background noise. But thank you, Mr. Bruno. We'll be able to come back and do a full presentation. Could you do it for us next month?
Sure. Yep.
Thank you.
Very fine.
Mr. Gonzalez, you have a couple of charms you'd like to share?
I wouldn't mind sharing a little bit, although I was actually just putting in the chat that I was going to have to run. I have to facilitate a program this afternoon. But I did have a quick question. Is there a date for the May Resources Fair yet?
No, it's usually, no, I'm not gonna share it until I have a definite, but you'll definitely be informed. We'll let you know.
Okay, so I spoke with Mr. Hakil Ellis.
Wait a minute, we usually do it the day of our regular senior action meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, the regular senior, I gotta get to my calendar. Get
On the 4 flashes.
So that means it should be on a Monday.
No, it will be a Tuesday.
Oh,
Give me a second, I'll tell you right now.
okay, great.
That's right. My hours are.
Yeah, so maybe we should.
It's May 7th.
Oh,
May
great,
7th.
because I
yeah.
think we'd love,
Yeah,
Arts and Minds would love to be a part of that.
oh, please
Yes.
come.
Now, I spoke with Hakil Elliston yesterday, and he said I'd be on the agenda as well for February to present. But does that mean there won't be a meeting, a Zoom meeting, next month?
Oh, no, we always have Zoom meetings.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So I look forward to delivering a more formal and evolved presentation. But if you'd like me to just say a few words, I can certainly do that about what we do. So we create programming intentionally designed for the specific needs of people with dementia and their care partners. So our approach is based on the experience in fields of art, dementia care, and adult learning, is to provide art-centered activities that enhance verbal and nonverbal communication, reduce isolation, and build community. So participants who have dementia, Alzheimer's, some form of memory loss, they cultivate moments of engagement right alongside their care partners. In fact, we have one of the highlights of my month is I spend 2 sessions at Ron Bruno's facility at MRHS, and I've been there since, oh gosh, for about a year now, twice a month. We have been doing these programs out of the Metropolitan Museum of Art and the Studio Museum and El Museo del Barrio since 2010. And only recently have we had the funds to reach out into the community. And so right now we're actually actively looking for venues where we can connect with people who need our services in the community. There's a great need for our services and for services for people with memory loss in general. If you're an African American over the age of 65, you're twice as likely to have dementia than if you're white. If you're Hispanic, you're 1.5 times more likely to have dementia. If you're over the age of 65, if you're white. And the challenge for us has been that there's such a stigma attached to the disease.
Can I get an order
that,
for delivery, please?
hello?
I
Excuse me?
would like to order a large chicken noodle soup.
Gail, please, Gail.
I'd like to have 2 egg rolls
Gail.
and a can of ginger ale. Okay, can you give me a total?
This took us hours. I want to have to come.
I'll have a chicken noodle soup too.
Okay, the address is 46.
I would like a one-time.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No worries.
About 12:30. We're going to see you next month, right? So you give us a.
Yeah, I'll just make one last little point, and that is the most important point of all is that we have bumped into a wall here and there because there's such a stigma attached to the disease that there are people who have memory loss who may or may not know that they've been diagnosed, who don't want to join a program where they announce publicly that in fact they have memory loss.
Yeah.
And that's a tragedy because those people don't get the services they need because of the stigma. And so part of our mission is to inform the public of services that are available, especially uptown right now. So unfortunately, I do have to run. Facilitate a program, but thanks for giving me a minute.
Thank you. See you next month. Okay, we've covered, we're up to new business. We're going to keep this quick. I'm asking the committee, all the committee members, to reach out to any organization you belong to that involved themselves with seniors, to add them to our May. You were here too, right? She came. You were here. So it really was a fourth grade. It was supposed to be outside, but we whooped and swooped and moved everybody inside. So we had refreshments, we had all that over here, we had presentations, we had a lot of organizations of not-for-profits, we have the cops came, the police, it was just, and health, yes, we had screenings for blood pressure and, you know, so it was really successful. And now we'll have a little bigger space. And, I would love you to come back. My two folks still on the line. And, I'm hoping the committee members can bring us just somebody that there or some people or the one. There have to be one. And not in addition to the ones that came back last year. So I'm also inviting, he said he couldn't make it this month, from Transit, MTA. Because you see, I explained that Dern, I can't curse when to do it, I want to, that Dern Omni. And they don't, they're getting rid of our monthly, because I do the monthly card, I got calculated for it going pay 12 times and you. So I was hoping that they left that open for discussion, so hopefully he'll be here next month, so. Then we have this thing about the city of yes, do you understand what that is?
I think, look, that's a complicated thing, but I think what they're trying to do is remove all restrictions on what people can do in cold retail. You can run businesses on the roof of your building, the middle floor. You know, you won't have control over what they're really manufacturing, if it's gonna pollute the air around you, there'll be extra garbage. I think it's just more of a push to deregulation.
Okay.
And we don't even know what control you have over it. You know, I talked to people who are owners, shop owners, and they're saying this is gonna be a way of getting more employment and more businesses. The businesses I spoke to told me their biggest issue now is rent gouging, no commercial rent control, okay, shoplifting, because there's so much activity right now. People are so desperately poor. Okay, petty crime and online shopping. So don't give me this, that this is going to help the problem of employment and more businesses coming back, because I don't think that's why a lot of them have left.
Okay.
That's not what I'm hearing from West Side Market, University Hardware, the few independently owned stores that we have. So what we did, you know, about and drugstore. So I think we should fight it, because it's no new ones. We need a lawyer on our side, the council. I don't know what the council is doing about this, to look at what they're proposing, because they send out. It's a lot of legalese, you know, Habitat for, not Habitat for Humanity, I'll send it around. I think I sent the link to you of this group called Human Scale New York.
Okay.
In which they go over point by point what they're trying to pull. And you know, Adams is funded by real estate, okay? He's going into a room with them, and they say, we don't like this control, we don't want that control, we want you to erase all this, we can do what we want. And that's what I think it is. That's my opinion.
As
Okay.
we speak now, there's a open forum that we won't be able to make, they're talking about it now.
Yeah, I know, I was looking at
But I think
my,
they're gonna make a presentation at the next general board meeting too.
right. I would send that to you because it's
Thank you.
very point by point. I mean, really, how would you like to get into an elevator in your building and there are people coming in and out, going to a business upstairs? You don't know what the hell's coming into the building.
Any kind of business too.
Yeah, that's right. Say you can have an entertainment on the first floor. I mean, look, as long as we have some control, we won't. Right, so that's really what it is, more movement towards deregulation.
Well, I am going to take a motion to adjourn.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I second the motion.
All in favor? 12:38. Thank you all for a great, I hope that my guests have put the information and their phone number and email address. Because when these senior trips come up, I like to make sure you all are invited.
Yeah.
I like to spread them also to our organizations, because they have, sometimes we can't get enough seniors to. But if you may be able to come today, but you feel great, but the time of the day.
Exactly.
You're not feeling well, you don't wanna go.
Okay.
Well, sure, huh?
Will you send us the information in the chat so that we can have the phone numbers and everything?
Okay, we'll do.
Thank you.
I will do.
Was it recorded?
I'm gonna send it before, yeah.
Oh, I don't think I have the goal.
Okay.
I'm cold.
No, Chair, before we speak a little bit more, I am so
Oh, no, I'm
grateful
sorry.
to you